Welcome to Launch Code, a premier business podcast. Starring Evan Hafer, Matt Best, and Jared Taylor.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Launch Code. I'm definitely not drinking. You're drinking, though.
I don't know what you guys are talking
You
about.
definitely were just drinking. You shotgunned a beer at 9 in the morning before the show. You got to own it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, I'm not helping you out here. This
Ladies
is all
and
you
gentlemen, we are still in Dallas for the NRA convention, and joining me today are the two masterminds behind Guns Daily.
do. Well, one mastermind behind Guns Daily, one mastermind behind one of my business partners, Sebastian from
Daily Gundos.
Daily Gundos.
Daily
There we go.
Gundos.
Yeah.
The
Similar.
Instagrams, you know,
Yeah, so Ben, you and I actually linked up a long time ago.
long time ago, like years, dude.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
And we finally, met for the first time yesterday.
I
And
know,
now
about
we have
time.
you here on the show. So tell us about this, because when I first talked to you, you were still in school.
Correct. Yeah. Wow. I'm surprised you remember that, but yeah, I started Guns Daily 2013.
Wow,
And I was in high school, yes.
that is awesome.
That which is crazy, right? So now
Because I remember I invited you somewhere. You were like, "Oh man, I'm still in school."
sorry, dude.
I'm
I got
Oh,
class.
what college? No, high school. What the hell made you start that Instagram? I mean, that was so early to have the idea to go, "Hey, I got this."
Right. Well. First off, I had no clue what I was doing at all. Second off, I was a huge fan of Chris Kyle. So, the day I started the page is actually the day he passed.
Oh,
you know. And people ask me like, "What was your reasoning for that?" And I honestly don't remember. You know. Maybe to honor him or to promote something that he lived and died by. But from there,
Where the fuck did you come up with it? It's a good idea.
Oh,
Like, hey, I'm just going to see if Guns Daily is taken on Instagram.
straight up, dude. Straight up. I was like, I like guns. There's this new platform called Instagram. What can I do? And I had no business mindset at all at the point, right? Like, and even for the first couple of years, I was like, I had no thought process of monetizing the platform. And it took me, Sebastian, we were talking about this. It probably took me 3 years to realize that, like, hey, this could actually be something I could make a living off
And you
of.
guys grew quick. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I remember when I first caught you, I want to say you were at 16,000.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
And that's when I came across it. And back then, I didn't even have my own account, and
Right.
Matt didn't have his account. We just had Art 15 Clothing's account. And it popped in on that, or I think you shared one of our photos or something like that of just static pictures of guns that we had
Sure.
taken, and it was like, oh, hey, this is cool.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
in. And then it seemed like there was a period of about 6 months where you went from 16 to 500.
yeah. I mean, probably about a year and a half, of just an insane growth spurt. You after you break that, or this is how it used to be, right? Not anymore,
Yeah.
obviously. But after you break that 100K barrier, you go.
Yeah, because it became almost like people would when you back then when you had over 100K, it was like, oh, I'm missing out. I need to follow this.
Yeah, exactly.
right. At 100K, like that was huge. I mean, it still is. Not to bash that at all, but
I remember 10. I remember breaking 10. That was a big deal. Because
yeah,
that was
for
when
sure.
that was when you got the K.
K, yeah. Oh, watch out! I got a
that
K now.
999 comes up, and you're
then
like,
100 was a big deal
Yeah.
because that's when you got 3 digits.
Yep. I mean, it's dude, it's been a journey, and being able to make a living off it, I'm super blessed, and I can't complain in this life.
Yeah, but you didn't stop there. Now, like you said, it took you 3 years, but now you've created a conglomerate.
Right.
And-
So, I mean, everything I do, I see as a stepping stone, right? Like, I always want to go bigger and better. I always want to figure out, hey, how can I make this like a long-term thing? Because Instagram's gonna, fade away eventually, right? And especially,
I don't know. I think, just like Facebook, Instagram has embedded in culture,
right?
and that is what creates the longevity in these things. Is it becomes it becomes people's identity now.
Oh, for sure. Well, which is terrifying when you think
It's
about
like MySpace never became culture. Facebook did.
Yeah.
and that's what would beat him out.
And that's what we're building our company Forge Relations on. And my business partner Will isn't here, unfortunately. He's running around the show with one of our new influencers. But Sebastian's joining me. He came on as a sales part of our sales team. But we're trying to capitalize on this market of influencers, right? And lining up influencers with quality companies to promote quality products. I mean, that's the simple baseline of it. And in the gun industry specifically, no one is really doing this, or at least capitalizing on it to its full potential, right? Like every other industry, makeup, music, whatever it might be.
It's funny because we talked about doing this 2 years ago. Me and Richard Ryan was
Right.
creating almost an agency for the gun industry for people that because the thing is you see the repeat offenses every time somebody new comes in and they make the same mistakes, and
Right.
all it takes is somebody to teach them a couple days of, hey, here's how to navigate this space and here's how to be successful in it. And
That's exactly what we've done, because the way we pitch it to when we bring on new influencers, like I've been there. Maybe I don't have a face to my brand, so to speak, but I made all those mistakes of signing shitty contracts or whatever the situation might be. I want to make sure that you don't do that. So let us help you through that. And I mean, it's been awesome for the people that have signed on. Like I said, my business partner Will, he's walking around with one of our latest finds, Amanda. She flew in and she's getting her first taste of like a convention. So it's good. I love seeing these up and comers.
what's
growing.
Amanda's name? Where's she come from?
Amanda.Sipos, SIPOS on Instagram.
Yeah.
And she wore heels to the.
She wore heels,
Yeah.
and we tried to talk her down on that, but she was
Yeah.
like, "No, Ben, I this is how I do."
Yeah.
So okay, but
And what's her background?
she is just an all-American gal. She's
Law enforcement, right?
her goal is to be in K-9 unit, but she's currently, I think, just a bartender. But yeah, she's an all-American gal who just loves freedom, and we started talking to her because she is not completely ingrained in the 2A community.
Yeah.
So one of our big
She's just
things,
breaking in.
yeah, but and also one of our big things is to focus on the overall lifestyle, right? Like we shoot, we love guns, but we also do other things. Like we like to go hiking, we like to do, go clubbing or whatever suits your fancy, right? So we're not just a bunch of old white dudes. No offense to white dudes, but old white dudes in the woods trying to take down the government, right? Like we're trying to get rid of that stigma that's been created.
Yeah. So when did you guys create your brand name again?
Forge Relations.
Forge Relations. And when did this come to fruition?
So this has been in the works for a while. It didn't have a brand name and like a real company behind it until about 8 months ago. And we ended up partnering up with Gun Digest magazine. Henry's our third partner. He's one of the owners of Gun Digest, which has given us a huge opportunity into also access to like print media, your standard print media, or like TV, stuff that not a lot of other internet-based companies or influencer style brands really work with. So that's been a huge opportunity to kind of test the waters in that world and also combine the two, right? Because they're so separated right now. Like people who are in this print media know nothing about social media and vice versa.
They're horrible at it.
Right.
We were talking about the reviews too earlier about how when Ben brings things in with the new influencers, it's always a give me your honest opinion. Like, what do you actually think about it? Don't come out saying it's great and it's the next best thing. Just I really want to know what you think.
Right. Like I mean, honesty. Like with any promotion of a product, the person actually has to believe in it for it to be valuable to potential customers. Otherwise, people see right through that stuff. Like you can maybe scam them for a couple posts or whatever the situation may be, but the real value is when you have that sense of longevity with one specific brand. There's loyalty there. Your followers actually see, hey, he actually uses this, or she actually uses this. This is something that I can get behind. It's not just another paid post.
No, that's a big thing, and that was something early on that Matt and I, part of our strategic plan was, hey, you can't endorse product XYZ every other day, because what happens is it works at first, and then people just start ignoring it because you're just that guy saying, buy this next thing.
Right.
And it nukes your credibility, and it nukes, the value, people that actually value your opinion when you're talking about something that may be a really good product.
Right. No, exactly. I mean, and once again, that longevity, like your credibility will fly out the door within a couple months, right? Like there's so many influencers who have come and gone because of that. They got rich quick, quote unquote, but now they're nobodies because no one trusts them.
So how'd you guys meet?
Through social media.
Yeah.
I mean, we started. I don't know.
How did we meet? Where was the first time we met up in person?
Was it SHOT Show?
Was it SHOT Show?
I think so.
Maybe. And then we've done a couple other things since then, but
yeah.
No, Sebastian's background, I won't step on your toes, but he came from a kind of a political sphere.
Right.
And that, having that outside viewpoint into the gun industry is huge, especially for sales, right? It's a completely different beast.
So I started my page more than anything as a vent, because I was starting to get shit about posting guns on my personal social media all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
I never get shit about that.
Well, now I
I
don't.
don't know why.
So it was more of a fuck you. I'm gonna do a gun page, make a gun page, see if it works, and treated it as a political campaign, and fucking worked.
It blew up. It blew up. You've been around. We were talking about this last night. What, 2 years now?
It'll be 2 years in July.
And you're hitting you're coming up on $250,000, if not past it already, right?
Just, 239 should be at 240.
Yeah, so that's ridiculous. That goes, like, once again, that's why we brought him in, because of that, outside mindset that the gun industry is so stuck in their ways, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, know this for
Big
sure.
time.
Hard to say. I mean, again, I like it because it opens for us. It opens the airwaves for us. If everybody was doing what we did, then it would just be clogged. And so I'm glad. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep fucking it up.
Right.
It seems like everybody's light years behind, in the gun industry.
Right. I think the standard is they're about 4 or 5 years behind, right? So I think with the way the political sphere is right now, with the way the gun environment is, these protests and all the madness going on, I have a prediction that this influencer, well, I mean, it's not really a prediction. It's almost a guarantee, in my opinion, that this influencer marketing is going to be almost the only way to get your product out there within 5 years, because traditional media is going to shut us down.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, what's on the horizon for you guys this year? Like, what's the big push? Are you guys still in kind of an organizational phase? We're crossing and growing, this list of influencers that you have, Do you have openings? Can I join?
Of course.
We're always looking for new blood. We want to find that person who hasn't been tainted, so to speak, by a large following or whatnot. No, that's not to say that we work with a lot of these larger people, and they are fantastic human beings, and that's a big part of what we do is we try to avoid the shitheads, the assholes of the crowd, because that does not work in our favor. But our goal for this year specifically is to introduce larger companies to this sense of marketing, right? And that, in a lot of cases, requires us to take a pay cut, essentially, because they do not understand what what these platforms are, the potential of these platforms. But in the long run, I think that's, if we can build these relationships with these larger companies, like I can't name them, right now, but we even had a conversation yesterday with a huge heavy hitter in the industry who had never considered social media, and now they're like, our sales are dropping off. We got to do something, and not the one you're thinking. Well, we're also working with them, but
No.
And that next one you thought, and that next one.
Saying, if you're saying today that we should have paid attention to social media, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, but I had that conversation 4 or 5 times yesterday, at least. Right. Like, and that happened at SHOT Show. That happened the year before, and they're like,
No, that was always my smack on
Right.
the head. Like, oh god, you don't get it.
Right, like they're like, yeah, you know, we have a marketing team, and Shelly does our social media, every now. I think she posts on Instagram or Facebook or something like that. But
They don't even know.
right.
We do ads on a newspaper. Like, who reads who actually goes out and buys that now?
yeah. But I mean, that's one of our big goals is to just introduce these new companies and kind of create ourselves or make ourselves the originals, right, in this market space, or at least the powerhouse essentially. So I mean, we're always learning. It's an uphill battle, but there's also so much, like you're saying, there is so much opportunity in this space because people don't see that potential.
Have you ever seen my partially sober and semi-accurate gun reviews?
Maybe.
You lost me at partially sober.
I'm going to have to show you those.
Yes.
Because I was told yesterday I need to make more of them.
Okay. I like that.
So you're in San Antonio, right?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm right down 35 from you, so.
What are you, in Poteet?
Laredo.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Well, at a
on the
ranch
border.
north of Laredo.
I only see fucking every sign on the freeway for Laredo. Apparently there's 100 ways to get there.
Yeah. There's
Every fucking freeway says 35 to Laredo.
it's only one road.
Laredo.
Yeah, but you have to put a bunch of signs because nobody really wants to go there. So.
Yeah, you want to come up, play in the fountain, maybe?
Yeah. we got a river.
Oh my god.
No,
Yeah.
this is great. And as you know, we have connections to a lot of people. So anybody that you guys would ever want to reach out to, if you need that connection, come on over. We'll help you out.
Yeah, and I
And,
mean, likewise. I'd like to think I know a couple people.
Now that we ran into each other here, it's like I can call you now. Like,
Right,
hey,
right,
I
right.
have an idea.
Yeah.
We need to make it a tradition. Every time I see you guys, we need to shotgun a
Yep.
beer.
There we go.
That's
Yeah.
going to be the
We'll
new thing.
do a can though.
So
These twists.
let's go around. Throw out all your Instagram accounts so everybody can jump on them. All the good ones that you like.
The my baby's Guns Daily. That's kind of really the only one I care about, and my camera just shut off. So that's unfortunate, but we almost made it through the whole podcast, guys. And I mean, yeah, that's really it. I got a
Guns
personal one.
Daily on Instagram, ladies
Yes,
and
sir.
gentlemen, and Daily Gun Dose.
Right. Right.
Very good names. Good branding.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
guys are great. Ben, Sebastian, thank you for joining us on Launch Code. Ladies and gentlemen, we are out.